It's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing of your life and know that you're being led to where you're meant to be. As you stumble on this video, perhaps not by chance, it will serve to awaken your spirit, to confirm what your spirit has already begun to perceive. You are not simply feeling stronger, lighter, or more mentally clear without reason. These sensations are not coincidental, nor are they random fluctuations in your emotional or physical state. What you are experiencing is sacred and profound. It is not merely a psychological shift or a surge in motivation. It is divine in nature, prophetic even. A higher intelligence is orchestrating this transformation, and it is not accidental. There is a sacred purpose behind the clarity and energy now flowing through you. God is intentionally increasing your energy and awareness because you are entering into the most crucial and spiritually significant phase of your life's purpose. The intensity you feel is preparation, not pressure. It is a sign that you are stepping into alignment with a higher calling. You are not running out of time. Contrary to the fears that often whisper otherwise, you are not late, lost, or falling behind. In truth, you are rising into the precise moment that heaven has long been preparing for you. Everything is unfolding according to divine timing. This is not the process of aging in a declining sense. It is the process of activation. What some might perceive as wear and tear is, in your case, sacred ignition. Your spirit is not slowing down. It is accelerating toward purpose, destiny, and impact. This is not a sign of decline. It is evidence of divine alignment. Rather than diminishing, you are aligning more fully with the path that was always meant for you. Your gifts, your voice, your presence, they are all coming into sharper focus and greater power. You are entering your prime. This chapter of your life is not a fading, it is a flourishing, and the magnitude of what is awakening within you is beyond what the world has categories for. You are becoming something that cannot be explained by the usual terms of success or growth. What is happening to you is sacred, supernatural, and without precedent. Before we begin this deep and transformative message, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. This is not just another video, nor is it casual content meant for passive consumption. It is a divine confirmation, an intentional message sent directly to those who have been chosen and are now awakening to their supernatural strength. If you are currently sensing a shift, whether in your body, your mind, or your spirit, I urge you to type 77 in the comments section. That number is not arbitrary. It is not merely symbolic. It is a prophetic signal, a numerical declaration that your prime has arrived. It means that your energy is ascending and that heaven itself is fueling you with power for the next chapter of your life's calling. Understand this. This message is not meant for everyone. It is specifically for those who have been experiencing quiet renewal, those who, in the privacy of their process, have felt a divine preparation unfolding, even if they cannot yet fully articulate what it is. Do not treat this message as entertainment. Treat it as revelation. This is not something to watch once and forget. Watch it multiple times, because with each viewing, a deeper layer of truth will be awakened within your spirit. Each time you hear these words, a new realm of strength will be unlocked. You will receive deposits from a divine account you may not have even known existed, an account that carries your name and is filled with purpose, power, and provision. You are not merely becoming stronger, you are stepping boldly into your prime. This is the moment you were made for. Heaven is in motion. Your time is now. Let us begin. Chapter 1. Your spirit is outpacing your years. Chosen one. There is a profound and unexplainable transformation occurring within you, one that even you may struggle to fully articulate. It is not merely a shift in attitude or emotion. It is a spiritual acceleration that defies the conventional expectations of age or experience. You have likely found yourself observing those around you, individuals your age, and even those who are younger, and noticing a distinct difference. Many of them appear to be slowing down. Their energy is diminishing. Their dreams are being postponed or abandoned altogether. They are retreating into comfort, settling for safety rather than reaching for the extraordinary. But you are different. Rather than withdrawing, you are advancing. Instead of slowing down, you are gaining momentum. Your dreams are not fading. They are becoming clearer, bolder, and more vivid. Your vision is expanding with divine clarity. The fire within you, your passion, your drive, your sense of purpose, is growing stronger, not weaker. And here is the reason: your spirit is outpacing your years. You are not bound by the limitations of age, time, or expectation. Your inner life is being renewed day by day. What is unfolding in you is supernatural. While others may be measuring their progress by earthly timelines, you are moving according to a divine rhythm. Your spirit is tapping into an eternal source of energy, wisdom, and purpose that cannot be explained by natural means. You are not behind, you are ahead, because your spirit has already stepped into what your years have yet to catch up to. Because your assignment requires more than natural timing. The path you are on does not operate according to ordinary timelines or societal expectations. Your calling, your divine assignment, demands more than what natural timing alone can provide. You were never created to rise quickly, peak early, and then fade away. That was never your design. You were created for something far greater: divine acceleration, a sacred kind of momentum that begins when others have already concluded their race. This acceleration is not rooted in youthfulness or worldly enthusiasm. Rather, it is anchored in obedience to divine instruction. It is not fueled by mere ambition, but by the anointing that comes from heaven. You are not moving to the rhythm of the world around you. You are moving to the rhythm of the Spirit within you. And now, because your spirit has been stirred and awakened, your physical body is aligning with that divine momentum. Your energy is no longer drawn from fleeting emotions or external rewards. You are not being led by fatigue or worn down by the weight of life. You are being pulled forward by purpose. You are not sustained by the applause of others. You are fueled by the fire of your assignment. You are not merely surviving on adrenaline. You are thriving daily on the fresh oil being poured from above. This is not burnout. This is breakthrough. This is not decline. This is divine destiny unfolding in real time. This is heaven restoring what life tried to strip from you. What you are experiencing now is not simply recovery, it is restoration. This is heaven returning to you everything that life, circumstances, and time attempted to take away. This is not just healing, it is God actively equipping you with the strength necessary for the next stretch of your journey. There was a time when you believed you were too tired to continue. The weight of waiting, the pain of setbacks, and the silence of delay made you feel as though your best days were behind you. But something changed the moment you aligned yourself with your divine flow. The moment you surrendered to divine timing and trusted the process ordained for you, strength began to return. Not just physically, but spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. You are now waking up with fresh thoughts, renewed clarity, and a deeper inner fire. And this surge of vitality is not a fleeting emotional high. It is a divine signal, a clear and sacred indicator that you have crossed into your true beginning. The truth is, you were never running out of time. That perception was an illusion. In reality, time was being restructured around your calling. Heaven was not denying you, it was preparing you. God, in divine wisdom, delayed certain things not to punish or discourage you, but to ensure that your spirit would reach the level of maturity required to sustain what is now being released into your life. This is not just a new chapter. This is the chapter everything else was leading up to. He hid you to preserve the power within you. There was a divine reason why God chose to hide you for a season. It was not rejection, it was protection. He concealed you not to diminish your light, but to preserve your strength. He hid you so that when the energy returned, you would not squander it on distractions or foolish pursuits. He allowed you to sit in extended silence so that when he reignited your inner fire, you would know with absolute clarity what to do with it. Chosen one, understand this. The renewed energy you are experiencing is not merely physical. It is not simply a biological boost or a temporary emotional lift. It is prophetic proof that God is far from finished with you. In truth, he is only just beginning. You are being recharged by the very same Spirit that hovered over the waters in the beginning of creation, the Spirit of God described in Genesis. You are being strengthened by the same power that raised Jesus Christ from the dead. That kind of power is eternal. It does not weaken with time. It does not grow stale or diminish with age. That power multiplies. It builds. It increases. And that is exactly what is happening within you now. You are not merely recovering from exhaustion, you are reclaiming lost years. You are not simply walking with more energy, you are stepping into divine acceleration. What is taking place in you is not natural recovery. It is supernatural restoration, guided by the hand of God and powered by the Spirit that transcends time, age, and human limitation. You are not just being strengthened, you are being activated. Do not apologize for the energy others cannot comprehend. You owe no apology for the strength, focus, or momentum that others may fail to understand. Your energy is not meant to be explained to those who were never assigned to walk your path. Do not shrink yourself to match the pace of people who were never meant to journey alongside you. Your path is unique. Your training has been different. Your preparation was intentional and divinely designed. You have been built specifically for this phase of your calling. Every hardship, every delay, every silent season was shaping your resilience. And now, as you move forward, you will do so with a stamina that astonishes others. People will begin to ask how you are doing what you're doing, how you are moving with such consistency and strength. But what they cannot see is the source from which you draw. This is not simply a second wind or a temporary burst of motivation. This is your divine beginning. And in this new beginning, it is not your age, your background, or your past that is leading the way. It is your spirit, a spirit that has been awakened, refined, empowered. Chapter 2. You survived the low seasons for this rise. Chosen one, let us speak truthfully. There were moments in your journey when you genuinely questioned whether you would make it through. There were days when your strength seemed to vanish before the morning had even begun. There were nights when you lay in silence, your pillow soaked with tears, whispering prayers into the darkness and asking God, "Why does it feel like I'm losing everything and gaining nothing?" But hear this clearly. You were not lazy. You were not weak. You were not inadequate. You were being broken open. Not to be destroyed, but to be made whole. God was not punishing you. He was preparing you. He was doing a deeper work, stripping away every false form of strength, the kind that appears stable on the surface but cannot withstand pressure or adversity. In His divine mercy, He allowed certain things to fall apart, not out of cruelty, but out of care. Not to dismantle your destiny, but to disconnect you from everything that lacked the capacity to carry you into the future He had prepared for you. The collapse you feared was actually a clearing. The silence you endured was actually sacred space. The breaking you experienced was necessary for the eternal rebuilding now taking place within you. You survived those low seasons, not by accident, but by divine intention. And now you rise not as the same person who entered the valley, but as someone refined by fire, strengthened by grace, and ready for the elevation that only those who have endured can carry. Yes, you lost some things, but what you gained was far greater. Yes, it is true. You lost some people along the way. You lost some dreams you once held close. You even lost former versions of yourself, identities, expectations, and ambitions that no longer serve your purpose. But let this truth settle in your spirit. What you gained in return was far greater. You gained clarity, the kind that only comes through deep surrender. You gained depth, a rootedness in the soul that cannot be shaken by circumstances. You gained wisdom, not learned from books or borrowed from others, but forged in the fires of experience. You gained a spiritual foundation, stronger than platforms, louder than opinions, and deeper than fleeting emotions. Those low seasons may have felt like a wilderness, dry and desolate, but in reality, they were a womb. Something sacred was being formed inside of you. Not a business, not a brand, not a platform or a performance, but something far more powerful and eternal. What was forming was endurance, shaped through adversity. What was growing was humility, born through surrender. What was developing was a spiritual depth so authentic, so profound, that it cannot be manufactured or imitated. You did not fail. You were not disqualified. You fell into alignment. You did not break down in defeat. You were broken open so that your true strength could rise. And now you are emerging, not with shallow hype or empty momentum, but with supernatural stamina. A strength that is steady, a purpose that is clear, a calling that is unmistakable. This is not your comeback. This is your commissioning. You move differently because you know the cost of rising. Your pace is not random. Your posture is not borrowed. You move differently now because you understand firsthand what it truly costs to rise. Your strength was not handed to you cheaply. It was forged in the low seasons, which were not wasted. They were the classrooms of heaven. In those hidden places where no applause echoed and no spotlight shone, you were taught divine principles that no earthly experience could teach. You were taught to walk by faith when you could not see the next step. You were trained to trust in silence, to move in obedience, even when there was no confirmation, to keep going when no one acknowledged your effort or celebrated your progress. And though no one may have seen your tears, God saw every single one. He not only saw them, He counted them. Each tear fell with purpose. They did not go to waste. They watered the very soil of your destiny. Now in this season, what you once planted in pain is beginning to bloom in power. The fruit of your endurance is becoming visible, not just externally, but from the inside out. You are bearing fruit that cannot be faked, peace that surpasses understanding, stability rooted in faith, authority born from surrender, vision shaped in the dark, grace that flows without striving. You now carry a quiet strength, one that defies explanation. It is not loud, but it is unmistakable. Why? Because it was earned in the dark, when no one else was watching but heaven. Chosen one, your rise was paid for in full. Chosen one, understand this truth. Your rise did not come cheaply. It was paid for in full, through nights of confusion, months of isolation, and years of faithful endurance. You did not take shortcuts. You did not skip the process, pretend you're healing, or rush ahead of your resurrection. You allowed God to do a deep and thorough work within you. You surrendered to the breaking. You embraced the refining. You let Him dig beneath the surface, past your performance, past your pain, past your plans, until He reached the foundation that could actually carry your calling. And now, because you chose to go low, God is about to raise you higher than you ever imagined. But this rise, this elevation, is not like what the world celebrates. This rise is different. It is not about shallow success. It is about lasting significance. It is not about gaining attention. It is about fulfilling your assignment. It is not about status. It is about service. It is not about being seen. It is about being sent. And because you allowed God to take you to the depths, you have now been built to stand tall, with a strength that does not waver and a purpose that will not fade. You have survived the crushing, the season where everything familiar was pressed out of you. And now it is time. Time to carry the oil, the anointing that was produced in private, but will now flow in public. You are not rising by accident. You are rising on purpose, for purpose. And heaven is backing your next step. Let them wonder, you know the truth. Let them wonder how you managed to rise again. Let them be stunned by the light that now radiates from your life, by the glow that speaks of transformation they cannot explain. But you will know the truth. You will know that the pain you endured was never meant to bury you. It was never meant to be your end, your defeat, or your disqualification. That pain was always meant to birth you, to awaken something deeper, stronger, and holier within you. And now you rise. Not merely surviving, not just breathing, but fully alive, with purpose in your stride and power in your voice. You rise not in your own strength, but anointed, set apart, called, and empowered for everything that heaven has prepared for you. Let them wonder, let them talk, let them ask. You have no need to explain, because while they speculate, you walk, not just alive, but anointed. Chapter 3. The world calls it aging backwards. Heaven calls it restoration. Chosen one, something about you has shifted, and people are starting to notice. They may not have the words to fully articulate it, but their comments reveal what their eyes perceive. They say you look younger, fresher, brighter, as if time itself is being reversed in your body. Some assume it must be your diet. Others credit your exercise routine or your commitment to skincare. They try to connect what they see on the outside to something physical, something tangible, something explainable. But you know the truth. What is happening to you is not merely physical. It is supernatural. This is not about looking younger. This is about being restored forward. The world calls it aging backwards, but heaven calls it restoration, a divine renewal that begins in the spirit and radiates through the soul, eventually transforming even your outward appearance. Your glow is not from products. It is from peace, a peace that surpasses understanding, a peace that settles the mind, quiets the soul, and heals the body. A peace that came after seasons of surrender, endurance, and spiritual warfare. You are not being made younger for vanity's sake. You are being made whole, spirit, soul, and body for the journey ahead. You are not defying age. You are fulfilling aligned. This is not cosmetic. This is prophetic, and it is only the beginning. The glow is spiritual, not superficial. The light in your eyes, the brightness people notice when they look at you, is not the result of getting more sleep. It is the result of spiritual alignment. The renewed youth in your body, the vitality and ease with which you now move, is not because of supplements, routines, or wellness fads. It is the result of surrender. You have allowed God to enter into the deepest, most vulnerable parts of your soul, the places most people work hard to hide. You invited Him into your broken spaces, the unresolved trauma, the generational wounds, the places of bitterness and betrayal that once shaped your reactions and decisions. You did not run from the pain. You allowed it to be healed. And now, the world around you is beginning to reflect what heaven has done within you. Your outer world, your countenance, your posture, your energy is simply a mirror of the cleansing work that has taken place in your inner life. This is why your skin is glowing, because the spiritual weight that once burdened your soul has been lifted. This is why your body is moving more freely, because you finally stopped carrying what was never yours to carry. Your restoration is not cosmetic. It is not artificial. It is not surface deep. It is holy. It is internal. It is divinely orchestrated. And now, the healing that once took place in secret is beginning to shine in plain sight. You're not defying time. You're aligned with eternity. This is why your eyes are sharper now, because God has removed the veil. You are no longer seeing through filters of fear, pain, or limitation. You are seeing with clarity, with discernment, and with purpose. To the world, it appears as though you are defying time, as if you've somehow found a way to escape the natural process of aging. But what they cannot comprehend is this: you are not fighting time. You are walking in eternal purpose. You are no longer caught in the exhausting cycles of survival, where everything felt like striving, where each day was merely about making it through. No, now you are living in a divine flow. You've reconnected to your source, the Creator Himself, and when you live from that place of spiritual intimacy, you step into a reality where time does not deteriorate what God is continually renewing. Time wears down what is disconnected from its origin. But when your life is in alignment with heaven, you tap into a realm where decay loses its grip. This does not mean a wrinkle-free life. This is not about escaping physical aging. This is about walking with a repaired soul, one that has been restored, redeemed, and made whole from the inside out. This is not about cosmetics. This is about covenant. It is about living in agreement with the will of heaven. And when you align with that will, you begin to move in a rhythm that is no longer bound by age, expectation, or human limitation. The pressure to perform fades away. The anxiety to compare is silenced. And without striving, without forcing, without even trying, your body begins to respond to what your spirit has already known all along. You are being made new, again and again. This is not a one-time transformation. This is a continual renewal, fueled by divine connection, sustained by grace, and protected by covenant. It is about living in agreement with the will of heaven. And when you align with that will, you begin to move in a rhythm that is no longer bound by age, expectation, or human limitation. The pressure to perform fades away. The anxiety to compare is silenced. And without striving, without forcing, without even trying, your body begins to respond to what your spirit has already known all along. You are being made new, again and again. This is not a one-time transformation. This is a continual renewal, fueled by divine connection, sustained by grace, and protected by covenant. Chosen one, this is divine restoration. What you are experiencing is not ordinary healing. This is divine restoration, a sacred and supernatural process that does more than simply repair what was broken. It renews you completely, from the inside out. It is the kind of restoration the scriptures speak of, the kind that renews your youth like the eagles, lifting you above what once weighed you down and giving you strength to soar once again. This is not about erasing your past. God is not changing your history, He is redeeming it, redefining your story not through denial, but through divine purpose. What once brought you sorrow is now becoming a source of strength. He is turning your mourning into dancing. He is exchanging your ashes for beauty. He is transforming your weariness into worship. You are not merely recovering, you are being rebuilt, with deeper wisdom, stronger faith, and a radiant peace that could only come from heaven. Your life is now a testimony, living proof that when God touches a soul, He doesn't just elevate it, He restores every part of it. Your joy, your energy, your vision, your hope. Nothing was wasted. Every tear had a purpose, and every broken piece has now become part of a masterpiece. This, what you're walking in, is divine restoration, and it is only the beginning. Your laughter has returned, your vision is clear again. Your joy has come back, and now your strength, glow, and grace are following. People will say you look younger, but you'll know it's not because of age. It's because you are aligned with eternity. This is not just a good season, it is a sign that God has touched every part of your life. The restoration will continue to grow. This is just the beginning of what it looks like when heaven heals you from the inside out. You are not going back in time, you are moving forward into your purpose. That, chosen one, is the most beautiful transformation of all. Chapter 4. God held back your prime for the right time. Chosen one, this part of your story will surprise people who thought they understood your journey. They expected your strength to fade and your voice to grow quiet. They believed your momentum was gone and your best years were behind you, but they were wrong. You were never living by natural timing. God was holding you in divine suspension, protecting you, preparing you, and positioning you for something greater than they could imagine. What seemed like a delay was actually God's way of preserving you. What felt like rejection was really divine redirection. When it looked like your fire had gone out, God was preparing you with fresh oil. You were not being denied, you were being protected. You were not being ignored, you were being strengthened in private. God didn't let you reach your peak too early because your purpose needs depth, not just attention. He didn't place you in rooms where your calling would be weakened just to gain applause. God didn't give you full strength while your foundation was still healing. He was teaching you to stand without applause. He was building your spirit while no one was watching. He was making sure that when your time came, you wouldn't break under pressure. At times you questioned the timing. You saw others succeed while you stayed in the shadows. You prayed, worked, and waited, wondering if you were late or even forgotten. God was always setting up something different for you. He wasn't just giving you success, He was preparing you for a deeper purpose. He wasn't only preparing a stage, He was preparing your soul. Now, as your spirit aligns with His timing, everything in you is coming to life. Your thoughts are clearer, your energy is stronger, your boldness is back, your creativity is flowing. Dreams that once seemed impossible are alive again. This is your moment, and it's not by accident. God waited until your heart was healed, your motives were pure, and you stopped seeking approval and started walking in obedience. People will say you look younger, stronger, and more alive. They'll ask what changed, and you'll know it wasn't a product, trend, or shortcut. It was divine timing meeting supernatural readiness. You are not just strong, you are steady. You are not just inspired, you are grounded. You are not just experienced, you are equipped by God. Your prime didn't come early because it wasn't meant to. It was saved for this season, this chapter, this moment. Now your strength is real, and now the doors opening for you truly belong to you. Now the opportunities are meeting you in purpose, not pressure. Walk with confidence, speak boldly, move without apology. Your prime is not late, it's right on time. This is not a coincidence, it's confirmation. It's proof that God never forgot you. He was saving the best part of your life for the moment when you could handle it with grace, maturity, and strong faith. And now, you are ready. Chapter 5. You're stronger because you're wiser. Chosen one, this is not just a season of strength, it's a season of strategy. You're not just moving faster, you're moving with wisdom. You're not doing more, you're doing what matters most. That's why you feel stronger. Not because your body changed, but because your spirit grew. You've been through enough to know what drains you, what delays you, and what's not worth your energy. This is what real strength looks like. It's not about how loud you are, how busy you stay, or how much you carry. Real strength is the wisdom to choose peace over pressure. It's the ability to walk away without needing to prove anything. It's staying silent when your spirit says, "This battle isn't yours." That wisdom is your protection. It's what keeps your fire burning longer. You've learned to guard your energy because it's sacred. You no longer respond to everything that calls your name. You don't join every argument. You don't chase every opportunity. You're no longer afraid of missing out, because now you understand what is meant for you by God will never pass you by. There was a time when you said yes to everything, trying to be everywhere, help everyone, and prove your worth. But now, you are free from that pressure. Now you say yes to alignment. You save your energy for what truly matters. You understand that peace is part of your strength. You've walked away from false urgency. You've stopped reacting to emotional chaos. You've let go of the need to be understood. Because of that, your spirit is lighter and your steps are stronger. The wisdom you have now didn't come easily. It came through betrayal, burnout, disappointment, and still showing up when no one else did. It came from discovering who you are when everything else was gone. It came from realizing your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. Now that you have wisdom, you don't have to push as hard. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to fight to be seen. You are operating with divine clarity, and clarity is power. It helps you save energy for what truly aligns with your purpose. Now you move with purpose. You set boundaries. You rest without guilt. You speak when it matters and stay silent when it's wise. Your strength lasts longer because it's not wasted on confusion. You've grown from reacting to understanding. You've moved from chaos to calm. You no longer seek approval. You know your worth. You are the result of going through hard times and coming out stronger. You are not just stronger, you are wiser. Because of that wisdom, your strength will take you further than hype or hustle ever could. This strength lasts because it is based on truth, and this is only the beginning. Chapter 6. Your energy shows what's coming. Chosen one. You may have felt a change lately. You wake up with more clarity. You move with purpose, but without panic. You feel more inspired, focused, and capable. This is not just motivation, it is a spiritual awakening. Your rising energy is not random. It is a sign from above telling your spirit, get ready. God never gives strength without a purpose. He doesn't give stamina unless there is a task ahead. He doesn't bring something back to life unless he plans to use it. The strength you feel now is a sign that something important is coming. Something you've prayed for, something your spirit has felt, something you've been quietly preparing for. Now, without warning, God is filling you with power to handle what's about to come. You're not just being restored, you're being prepared. This energy isn't just to make you feel better. It's to help you do greater things. More influence, more service, more impact. Heaven is getting you ready so you don't fall when new doors open. You may not see everything yet, but your body feels the change. You're more alert, more stable, more ready. The tiredness that once filled your days is fading. The mental fog is clearing. This isn't just physical recovery, it's spiritual alignment showing in your body. God is giving you strength because what's coming will need endurance. Not just physical, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual. The task ahead will challenge you, but it won't break you. God is preparing you now for what you'll need later. He's building your stamina for the influence you'll carry. He's strengthening your mind for the choices you'll make. He's renewing your joy for the people you'll lead. God is preparing your spirit to carry the weight of answered prayers. People will say, You seem different, and you'll know why. This is what happens when heaven gives grace before the mission. This is how it feels when God gives power before the promotion. Don't ignore your energy. Don't think your peace is just a coincidence. It's a sign. It's confirmation. It's a clue that something big is about to happen. God doesn't want you to enter this season crawling. He wants you running, ready and full of strength. So keep going, keep showing up. Use your strength wisely, because what's coming isn't just another chapter, it's your launch. The energy you feel isn't hype. It's from heaven. It's purpose rising in you. It's fuel for the destiny you were made for. And this is just the beginning. Your energy is proof that your season of hiding is over. Delay is being replaced by divine acceleration. You're not just reaching your prime, you're stepping into God's timing. Every step forward will show that God was preparing you all along. Chapter 7. This is not just getting a second wind. It's something supernatural to arrest your one, chosen one. You are not bouncing back or recovering. You are being chosen and changed. This is not about recovery. It's about a new revelation. You're not just getting your strength back. Heaven is showing the world who you really are. You are not returning to your old self. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. You are not going backward. You are breaking through. This is not a second wind powered by adrenaline. It is a supernatural strength that comes from divine timing. You are not just catching your breath. You are finding your purpose. You are not just feeling better. You are being realigned. You are not driven by emotions. You are guided by vision. What is growing inside you now is greater than anything you've faced before. You have entered divine momentum. The strength you have is not from your past. It is new, sent from heaven for this moment. You have endured far too much to return to the person you once were. For that former version of yourself had to be broken in order for the truest expression of who you are to emerge. The old self was driven by a need to perform, constantly seeking validation, whereas the new self is rooted in a deep sense of purpose and walks confidently in divine authority. You are not delayed, you are not missing out, and you are certainly not behind. Rather, heaven has intentionally preserved your strength and energy for such a time as this. Because this is the season in which all things are beginning to align. This is the time when your preparation starts to make sense. Now you can see why some doors had to stay closed. God was not trying to deny you. He was training you. He wanted to make sure you were ready, not just to arrive, but to stay, to lead, and to carry what others could not. You faced delays that tested your hope. You cried prayers alone and wondered if you were still called. But in every quiet season, every low moment, and every time you almost gave up, God was giving you strength in silence. Now that the storm is over, the strength inside you is clear. People who thought you were done will see you rise with both grace and fire. This is not about revenge or needing approval. It's happening because God said, now is your moment. Now is your time. Now is when the power in you connects with the purpose you were made for. That's why everything in you feel alive again. That's why you're sleeping less, focusing more, speaking with confidence, and feeling steady inside. It's not a coincidence. It's proof. God didn't bring you this far to let you fall before the reward. He kept you strong so you could enter this new season with power and stability. You've been refined, sharpened, and tested. Now you are being trusted with more responsibility, more attention, and more purpose. This is not for your name, but for God's. So let people watch. Let them wonder how you're rising after all you've lost. Let them ask why you're glowing, smiling, and staying calm. When they ask, don't explain, just live it. They won't understand through logic. Only heaven could make this happen. This isn't a second wind. It's not borrowed strength. It's divine power. It's restoration in action. It's God keeping a promise made to you long ago, before you were even ready. Now that you are truly ready, nothing can hinder what is unfolding. You are not returning to an old stage or revisiting a former version of yourself. Rather, you are being elevated to a higher place and revealing the refined, empowered version of who you've become. This is not a season of repetition or routine. It is one of responsibility and purpose, where you are not merely moving forward, but carrying a mantle meant for leadership, influence, and impact. So walk with confidence, speak with authority, build with vision, and believe with boldness. For this is not just a rise, it is your arrival into your prime. And this moment is not the result of chance or perfect timing. It is the result of a divine yes, spoken by God Himself. And no force on earth can cancel what heaven has approved. This is your supernatural wind, and it is only the beginning. And if you're still hungry for more chapters to this journey or a visual concept for a video or thumbnail, just say the word. I'm here and ready to help bring it all to life. Thanks for watching. Here ends this video. Take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. If you find this video interesting,